looks. You need a partner in crime that keep her head in the books. Team up like Diesel and Brian. I'm going all the way. I'm going all the way.
So the whole purpose for today is really to educate you all about the accelerator that we have coming up. It's actually starting in 1 week. And so a lot of times people are like, what is an accelerator? Well, I'm glad you asked. No, but I'll give all that information. I'm actually pretty excited that we're going to do it virtually because it just gives the opportunity to like cut straight to the chase, give you all the information that you need, and then let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. So the overview for what we're going to discuss today is really just like what the accelerator actually is, identify who it's intended for. So like knowing like, should you take the accelerator or should you participate in the accelerator or not? Go over what you're going to learn over the few weeks of the actual accelerator. And then also we'll talk about expectations. And then the best thing about it is this year we've actually gotten an opportunity to give micro grants at the end of the accelerator. So we're going to talk about some of the awards that you'll get from participating and actually completing the program. Okay. So what is an accelerator? So different accelerators will focus on different areas. Our accelerator in particular will help you take whatever your business idea is and then get you to launch. And so we really focus on the actual foundation of the business. So over the 10-week course, which technically this accelerator is going to be 8 weeks, but we'll talk about that as well. But over a 10-week course, we take your idea, whether you are just in the ideation phase, like you only have an idea, you haven't built upon it, or say you're someone who you actually started a business, but you never really did the fundamental things or like the foundation things in order to make your business sustainable. So all of those things, really, that's what we're going to be focusing on. And so then each week you're going to be doing a combination of our online curriculum. So you'll have like a place where you log in online, you'll have homework, like different things that you can do self-paced. And then we'll also have meetings throughout the week that go over different topics, which I'll go over what the meetings are going to look like. And so all of those are important for you to participate in. So, all right, guys, just letting people in. All right, cool. So with that being said, so this particular accelerator is our 10-week program, where, again, like I said, we take startups from the ideation stage. So that's just like the idea stage, or you haven't really like gotten it all together. If you've already launched, like you still need to like figure some things out. And then we take you to launch so that you can have a successful launch. And then after that, the goal is to like push you into this growth phase where you start to be in a position where you need to build a team or hire people. Again, like I said, over the course of the week, we'll do a combination of workshops. We'll have guest speakers. We'll have mentors. We'll also do online training. And then we've designed out this VR experience. So we have a few of the workshops that are going to be online. So instead of meeting like this, where we're just doing like this regular Zoom, which I'm zoomed out. I don't know about y'all, even though I'm on Zoom right now. So sometimes I feel like I'm zoomed out. So instead of just doing it that way, we're going to be doing a VR, like a whole virtual reality experience where you can do some hands-on learning when it comes to the business development. So throughout that, we'll be learning and helping you all craft your ideas. Then we have at the end of the accelerator, outside of the graduation day, we have what is called Ignite Day. And so that's our day that we do a pitch competition. On that day, we'll teach you all crowdfunding tools, like how to do crowdfunding. And so then you'll do a combination of doing some crowdfunding from some of your immediate supporters. And then you'll also pitch your idea to the public, and a set of judges. Once you pitch your idea, they're gonna judge you based off of like your ability to take what you've learned in this accelerator and apply it to your business idea, and then effectively communicating your business model / business plan. At the end, we are going to be granting the top 3 businesses a micro grant, and then we're going to be also giving the other businesses, smaller grants, and then also donated grants, services that are available. So we have a guaranteed amount of about $20,000, and then we have about $15,000 in services that's actually guaranteed as well that we're going to gift out. So in micro grants and services, but throughout this process on the back end, we're still going to be raising money. So at the end of it, how much ever money that we raise is how much we're going to put towards giving out micro grants for everyone who completes the program. We have 10 spaces available right now. Last time that I checked, we had, I think 1 to 2 spaces that are still open for individuals to be able to be a part of. So our goal is by the end of April to graduate 10 new businesses, to provide all of the businesses with some type of financial micro grant support, and then help you all get to a place where you enter into growth phase. And then we have some partner entrepreneur support organizations that we're going to actually pass you along to so that you can continue your journey with getting the education and resources that you need past this like launch phase. All right. So some of the reasons why, I just really quick want to give a background. Some of the reasons why we felt like this was super important is because 8 out of 10 Black-owned businesses fail within the first 2 years. And a lot of times it's because we don't, and I'm saying we, because I'm a minority as well, but we don't take the time to do some of the things that we need to because we're in such a crunch. Like we have to get the business to a place where it's launched. We have to get the business to a place that is sustainable, all of these different things. And so it can be a little bit challenging. There's, also, let me get this. There's also like a lot of, challenges when it comes to, historic challenges. There's also a lot of barriers that comes to being, a Black or brown business. A lot of mental stability challenges, psychological challenges, access to resource challenge. And so we've taken all of that into consideration and built out this accelerator. And so during each of the phases, the different things that we're going to be doing, we're going to be speaking to exactly how to get through or get over those barriers. We're going to be making sure that we address and we talk about actual things, like real attainable things that you can do in your business right now, and not talk from a place of like, oh, this is a Fortune 500 company. Like we're really just trying to get you all to be at a place where even if you're owner operated, you're growing something that could sustain your family. You're growing something that can be legendary. You're growing something that can scale to whatever it is that you have in mind. But also keep it in mind that a lot of times certain resources are just not readily available in our community. So we're making sure that we not only address those things, but we make it easy for you to get those things, like access to legal information, access to funding, access to relationships with funders and bankers and all of these different mentors and different things that you'll need in order to be successful in business. All right, so I'm going to now go into what to expect week by week when it comes to the accelerator. I've already kind of talked about the audience real quick, but just to let you all know that, again, if you are we're focused on minority businesses. If you're not a minority business, that's completely okay. Like, we're not going to turn you away. It actually will make it even better because of the fact that you'll be able to learn and be aware of a lot of the barriers that happen in the minority community, and see it from, like, while you're building your business, see it from that lens and that perspective and some of the barriers that you can overcome. And then also, we are focused on lifestyle and owner operated businesses. So some of the businesses that are traditionally overlooked when it comes to programs like this, or when it comes to funding, a lot of times accelerators or programs are really into tech businesses, bio businesses. And so we created this space where it's like, okay, if you want to be an artist, or if you want to be if you want to have a store or have a clothing line, we want to give you the tools to be able to do that successfully. So cool. All right. So let's just really quick go into it. So like I said, let me explain. So it's usually a 10-week accelerator. We actually are going to be doing this in about 8 weeks. So we condensed some of the weeks because we got a bit of a delayed start this year. We wanted to make sure that a lot of the stuff we had was built out. We wanted to make sure that we could guarantee that you all would be able to get micro grants. And so now that we've confirmed that, we can move forward. So we're going to be shortening the weeks, but you're still going to get the same experience. You're still going to get the quality. You're still going to get the knowledge. And we'll still take a couple weeks on the back end to follow you through, to make sure that anything you felt like, okay, I just really didn't understand that this week, we'll make sure that you get. So with week 1, this is going to start March 6th through the 12th. So the actual launch of the accelerator is going to be March 5th. And so that is going to be in person. We will meet up and we will go over, we'll learn some things. You guys will get some like backpacks and stuff like that, like things that you need in order to get started with your business and on this journey. Now, leading after that, the first week will focus on entrepreneurship characteristics and basics. And so this is just like, do you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? You know, like, what are some of the things that you need to know and some of the characteristics that you need to have in order to have a successful business? Then we will get into, like, do you have a good idea? I know we all think that we have good ideas, but sometimes we don't. Or sometimes we just need a little bit of tweaking in order to get our idea to be something that is actually scalable or something that is marketable. And so that's what we're going to focus on that week. So March 5th will be the actual launch date. And then March 6th is called Match Day. That will be the day where you will pitch your idea. So I know it's like, wait, I got to go into a pitch competition already. No, it's not going to be a competition. It's just really just us wanting to hear, like, what's your idea? Just off the cuff. How do you talk about your idea? How do you communicate it to other people? And we just want to be like, just to be raw, like not polished, just tell us. We just want to see how you do it at this point. So those are the 2 dates for the first week, which will be March 6th through the 12th to keep in mind. Then we transition to, then as well, we have some other things. So we do have a couple of workshops that week as well. So one of the workshops is called Sell Me This Pen, where it's just a sales workshop where you get tips and tools. You'll learn about how to do projections, like what should you be charging, for your business. How should you be charging it? How should you be selling? So those are some of the things that we're going to focus on. And then we'll talk about, so that weekend will be like a precursor to week 2 information. So like All About Strategy is like a full day where we start to dive into, okay, like now that you have this idea, Okay, so you have your idea, and we talk about like some of the cool ways on how to sell your idea, some of the ways like how much you should be pricing, just kind of like going over that a little bit. Then we'll do all about strategy, which is a day where we'll have experts come. They'll talk to you about your business. They'll talk to you about the idea that you have, and then help you formulate a strategy for your actual business. So like, what should your pricing strategy be? How should you be structured as a business, like an LLC or a nonprofit or a corporation? So all of the little like nuanced things that you have to figure out when you really first start a business. We'll spend a full day like doing these cool activities. And having people come in, and you'll get to meet a lot of new people come in, but help with that. All right, so week two. So week two, when we do that, so that's on an actual Saturday. We will, I believe that's on a Saturday. I'm over here messing up. Yeah, that's on a Saturday. So we will then take what we've kind of like discussed and the information, like the strategizing that we've done with the mentors, and we'll go into week two. And so then that's when we'll work on, and you'll do a lot of this kind of like on your own. We'll set up some office hours, but that's when you will start to build out what is your business model. So your business model and your business plan are two different things. Your business model really just focuses on what does your actual business look like? Like, what are you actually selling? What is your actual product or service? So with that being said, we will go over your actual business model, sales, and then branding. So what is your branding strategy? So some of the important things to take into account, protecting your assets. So we will have a full workshop about protecting your assets. And that's going to be pretty fun. We're going to have a specialist come in and then be able to tell you not only how to protect your assets, but then also what's like the legal structuring that you should do for your business. And then the next thing we're going to do is a branding boot camp. So this one I'm super excited about because you all will walk away with the actual brand. And so with the branding boot camp, you'll talk about what are some of the things that you need to incorporate into your brand. We'll have some contracted designers on deck who will help you with designing out your actual logo and help you with your branding. So that I'm so excited. So it's a 2-day boot camp. So both the 19th and the 20th, where we will be doing that. Transitioning to week three. Week three, we'll be focusing on funding your business. And so we'll talk about the different ways that different sources of funding that is available, how to do the financial planning and projections so that you will be able to fund your business or get the funding options that you really want to. I know that's like the biggest thing that I hear from people. They're like, I just need to get more money, I need to get more money. I need to get more funding so that I can grow the business. So we'll talk about, the best source of funding for you and then how to be able to do that. All right. So then we go into week 4. And week 4 is really about building out your organization structure. And I don't know if you have gotten into this place in your business or even thought about it, but this is where we'll talk about what does your team look like? Some of the people that you should have on board, we call them C-suite individuals. So that's your CFO, which is your chief financial officer, or your CMO, your chief marketing officer. Well, a lot of times when we start businesses, we don't have enough money to get these people on board or pay these people to be on board with us. And so We talked about that. Like, what does that look like when you're building your business? What are some of the resources that we have available to fill some of the gaps of like where you need to be at when it comes to filling these positions to grow your business? How do you create that organizational structure? And then how do you incorporate that whole plan into building something that's sustainable or helps your business to be sustainable? We also will talk about partnership. So, like, what are some other organizations that you should strategically partner with? Some of your, what is it called? Your competitors that may not necessarily be your competitors that you should partner with. Like, what's some strategic ways you should do that? And then also, if you should, have people start the business with you, should you have partnerships? Should you have individuals who are on board with you? So then some important days to know for that week is Light Day. So Light Day, that is an event where we'll do like fake pitches for like you'll do it in front of people who have invested in companies before and people who offer funding, people who are like over the funding aspect, people who work at firms. So you'll pitch in front of them and then they'll give it advice of like, hey, these are some of the things that you can do differently so that you can make sure that you're securing funding or getting the funding that you're asking for. Also, we'll do a meet and greet. And so we are pulling a lot of the different startups who have been through, like minority startups who have been through accelerators, such as either one that is ours or some that are from another organization, and then they can give you some insight about how they've grown. We've seen a lot of organizations or startups that have started in like just this phase, and they were able to take an accelerator and use it as a launching pad to like build a huge company. And so being able to get insight from them of like, okay, how did you just take this little information, because it's not really little, but how did you take this information and then build upon that in order to build something like sustainable? Okay. So then we move over into week 5. So week 5, we will be developing your business plan. And so this week we are going to be partnering with Columbus Urban League Minority Business Center to help set up office hours where they will help with a few other mentors, help out with developing out your business plan. We'll do you'll have a lot of stuff that you have to go over, which will be virtual. A lot of that will be self-paced, so you don't have to worry about this being a heavy week for us to meet in person. But we are doing a lot of open hours for mentorship. So it will be like a refreshing week of being able to get caught up on some information if you're feeling like, okay, I don't necessarily understand that, or I need to get more of this, so that it will help you with building out your business plan. So then we'll help you with building your business plan, which I said is different than your business model. This is really like the full structure of like, okay, how do you plan to make this business sustainable? If I was on the outside looking in and I'm trying to give you funding, I need this business plan to know if this is a good idea. And so we'll help you build that out during this week of like, what are the things that need to be incorporated in it? We actually have a couple of different partners outside of so we have the resource, the Minority Business Center, and then we have a couple of partners that will take the outlines that you all will have to create that week, and then they'll help craft your actual business plan. So that week you'll walk away with an actual business plan, which is dope because you can take that and at the end, you'll be able to use that for however, like if you decide to move forward, if you want to get funding or whatever, like you can do that. So that'll be dope. All right. So then week 6. So now we're starting to prepare for your pitch, for you to actually pitch your ideas. This week is again going to be a heavy week for you to do a lot of self-paced work. And then we're going to be doing a lot of different open hours as well. And so we're going to get caught up on some things. Like if you're like, okay, wait, I know I did my business plan, but I still want to go back to this legal strategy because, I have a nonprofit and okay, I'm supposed to be having board members and I'm just really confused about how this works. That's the week where we'll help kind of like go back and like, okay, where are some opportunities that you feel like, okay, if I get out of this program and I graduate, I'm definitely going to drop the ball here because I don't really understand it. And so we'll do some open hours to help with that. And then we'll also start to prepare you for your pitch at the end so that you'll be able to get funding. So with like preparing you for your pitch, this week we'll present you with the criteria of what it is that the judges will be looking for in order to consider you into one of the top 3 places of receiving micro grants. All right, week 7. So this again, self-paced work, open hours, and we will be doing our official graduation ceremony. So you finally made it towards the end. You'll be at the end technically by week 7. So we'll graduate you as long as you've completed all of your work up until that point. And week 8. So this is when we will finally do the Ignite Day pitch competition. And so week 6 and 7 is when we will do like the prepping. We'll do a lot of open hours. We'll have some mentors on deck so you can meet with your mentors. Like this is the week where we do like a lot of like the work. So you're not going to be just sitting into a workshop and just listening to somebody like me talk. You're actually going to be working with a mentor. You're actually going to be working with a team to make sure that this idea that you have is built out by the time you get to this pitch competition. So with the pitch competition, it's going to be like an all-day event where everyone will pitch their ideas. You'll get to hear from special guests. You'll get to be motivated. We'll get to eat. We'll get to do all these cool things. And then we'll get to see what everyone is actually going to be awarded. We'll also do an announcement for ending our personal fundraiser. So how much money we've raised to put on top of the collective $35,000 of micro grants and services that are available. So we'll do an announcement and then we'll do some surprise giveaways that day. This day also, which I'm not going to give too much of it away, but you'll have to do some fundraising as well. So it's going to be a hybrid event so people can come in person and online. And we are asking you all to do fundraising as well. So we'll talk about that during the accelerator, during our funding week of like, what's the proper way of like doing some crowdfunding? And then you'll put it to the test that actual day on Ignite Day. And so you will have to basically crowdfund. And this is like one of those, this is a really, really good excuse to ask your family and friends for money. Because, you know, like any other time you can't like ask your family for money for a business idea because they just be like, whatever. But then this is like an excuse to be like, no, but listen, because I'm part of this competition and I need you to donate or give like $10 or $50 to do this. And it's like not as much pressure, you know, for you to like tap into your community and it be for a cause. So yes, so I'm super excited about that. So no matter what, everybody's going to be walking away with some money. Okay. We are making sure that you all have the resources to continue past this point. All right. I guess I just like kind of went over this, but here's some of the stuff that is available. So the micro grants and awards that are available. So again, we have started off, we have about a potential of each placed, like if you're in first, second, or third, it's starting off at 5,000 minimum for you to be able to get in a micro grant. And then based off of our fundraising efforts, it could go above that. So we have about altogether just a focus of 20,000 in micro grants again, but we're going to be doing fundraising. So at the end, I guess our goal is to really like get to a position where we can match whatever it is that you fundraise. So I'm like spilling the beans, but all y'all keep that to yourselves. Okay, so then afterwards, sponsored microgrants is really us doing the fundraising aspect. We do have some partners who are like, yes, we want to sponsor a business. And so this is where that funding day the light day where you're doing the pitches will come into place, because they'll get an opportunity to know what businesses are a part of the accelerator. And so they can tell us like, hey, this business in particular, we really liked, and we want to provide them at the end with this surprise grant. So that's why like taking every aspect of this accelerator serious is super important. And then lastly, sponsor services. So we actually already have a few people who are going to be sponsoring services, whether it's like branding, whether it's marketing, legal services, and we're going to be giving those out based off of need. So as we work with you all and we start to see like, okay, this is an area of opportunity for you. We're not going to just like give someone who doesn't need marketing services the marketing service, sponsorship. We're going to give it to someone who actually needs it. If you're in a place where you have a lot of components that needs legal assistance, we're going to make sure that you get that legal assistance service sponsorship. So that is going to be like really, really cool. All right. So if you haven't already filled out an application, you can go to urbanlaunchschool.com to submit your application. Again, we have I believe last time I checked, we had 2. We are still going through the applications that we've received so far to narrow it down. Everyone will get an email tomorrow, so on Monday, letting them know if they've been included in the first round. And then we have another open house on Thursday, which will be like the absolute last. Now, if we accept everyone and we're like, okay, actually we're completely full, then we'll let everyone know by Tuesday, like we're completely full, we're not taking any more applications. But we still will do the open house because we have another accelerator coming up in August. So say, for example, you don't get into this accelerator, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. We still have workshops. You can still book a business consultation by using our website, theucbus.com. But so say you don't get into this accelerator, that's okay. But you can always apply for the next one, which will be in August of this year. So we have this one that will be in August. Or if you're like, okay, I don't know if I'll be able to do this in 8 weeks versus the usual 10 weeks, then you'll be able to just wait until the August one as well. The last thing I want to say about the accelerator, we are doing a additional 2 weeks of open house. This is an open house. We're doing additional 2 weeks of open hours, office hours after you do the pitch competition. So even though you've graduated, you've done all this stuff, we are dedicating a significant amount of time to being able to help you with certain things that you need help with. And then we're going to continue. We have like a game plan ongoing. So that's one thing. We've done trainings in the past, and that's one thing that we felt like was an opportunity for ourselves was, one, making sure that all the businesses walked away with a micro grant or some type of service or assistance. And then secondly, making sure that there was ongoing support. Because as we have grown our internal team here at the U, it's important for us to continue to engage with the businesses that we are assisting and making sure we see you through. So not that you just did this was fun, you walked away with your check, and then it's on and popping. No. Okay. So then what is the next step? Because it's not just doing the ribbon cutting to launch your business. What's the next step after that? You know, like how many times have we been to someone's ribbon cutting just for them to go out of business a year later? Because they were like, you know, it's all that hype of like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like it's really fun, but you know, like you start a clothing line and you think that as soon as you put your website up, it's available for people to purchase, that it's like on and popping. Like it's success from there. But it just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. And so we want to make sure we see you through to success. So it's like, okay, now that we've got you launched, how do we get you to growth? How do we get you to a place to be successful? So I really appreciate you all. I'm going to stop sharing this. For anyone who got in late, I appreciate you for hopping on. Everyone will receive this actual presentation that kind of goes over the different weeks and goes over the expectations and the information that we've gone over today. So that you don't have to worry about like, okay, I didn't get that or something. Like everyone will receive this actual information. And then if you haven't already, just make sure that you fill out an application. If you have some friends, tell them to fill out an application like ASAP, okay? And we will get through. So I just want to open it up. You know, like I said, I told you guys that I'm going to make this real straight to the point because I know it's Sunday. I want you all to enjoy your family time, your Sunday time. This is like my cleaning day. So I don't know if this is anyone else's cleaning day, but be able to enjoy your Sunday. But before I let you all go, does anyone have any questions for me? And I'll just like open it up. You can either type it in the chat or you can just like unmute yourself. Unless you're going to say something crazy. No, I'm just saying. So, okay. No questions.
If we have two businesses, is this for one business or for two? Or can we do two if we have two businesses ourselves?
You can do two. So now it's about your capacity. So if you know yourself and you're like, okay, I can pull this through, then it's completely up to you. You might find throughout the first and second week is when you'll really understand how you can handle that. Okay. You'll find throughout that time if it's going to work out for you, but I'm not going to tell you you can't build both of your businesses.
Okay. Oh, great.
Okay. You have any other questions?
If I just wanted to support you with what you're doing, because I like what you're doing, how could I do that outside of participating or joining the training school?
So you can go to our website at theucbus.com. We have on there, like, if you do like the contact page, where you can just like send us a note like, hey, this is how I want to support. Because we love support. Trust me, like I don't know everything and I can't do everything. So like, if you want to support, just let us know how. And then I'll just send you a link of like, hey, this is how we can connect. And it'll just be like a calendar invite. And then we'll just chop it up. So.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely do that. Thanks.
Okay. All right. And then I see, yep. All right. So once we fill out the app, we found Tuesday. Is that correct? Yes. So actually, oh, okay. Ski, do you mind just putting the link for here? I'll just type it in. So I just put in urbanlaunchschool.com. So that is the link to do the actual application. People who have submitted their application before Friday will know by tomorrow if they're accepted. Anyone who is submitting their application, their new application, we'll know by Tuesday, just because we need to make sure that we haven't completely been filled up. So you'll get like an email like, hey, you're accepted, or you'll get an email that's just like, hey, we've reached capacity and here's the dates of the next one. Here's some of the resources that are available for you right now. All right, did anyone have any? Oh, and then there's about 1 to 2. There was 2 spots left. And I'm saying that I think that one of them may be interchangeable. If you are interested though, or if you know anyone who's interested, just tell them to like apply. Like it doesn't take that long either. The worst thing that can happen is like, we'll just be like, hey, like, let's just talk or figure out something else for you until the next accelerator. But like, that's really about it. Just tell them to apply. Any other questions before we hop off? And I just want to say, like, I appreciate you all for, spending your Sunday with me. Thank you all. I look forward to this. I look forward to you all meeting our team. I look forward to meeting you all. And I just look forward to further engagement. I'm pretty sure that all of you all, the reason why you're on is because you have some type of business or you know someone who has a business. So like, woo for y'all to even be in this space because it's not an easy space to even be in. And so I just look forward to continuing to make relationship with all of you. And then, like I said, if there's a way that you feel like you want to support or get involved, again, like go to our website at theucbus.com. And we just love to connect with so many different people. So we look forward to that. So, all right. Well, y'all, I sound so country. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Have a great Sunday. And thank you so much. So see you all later.
Things was different in high school. That's been over a decade. Yeah, that's on God. You need to stop. Look at the rock. I went all the way.